isn't so much of a what is the workload or what is the vertical. The organizations and the workloads that are moving to the cloud are the ones that are the most disrupted. If you are facing disruption, if you are facing violent competition in the industry, if you are facing a software startup that has figured out how your 30-year-old industry or your 30-year-old business works, and they're doing it better than you, and they're increasing features faster, then you're going to move to the cloud too, because that is your only competitive defensive weapon against that. You're not going to take business and IT the same way that you've been doing it for 30 plus years and using that to fight off somebody who's not fettered by a lot of those same constraints. And you see it across different industries. You see how software is just generating tremendous valuations. And you're looking at valuations in the transportation space, in the media space. You're looking at valuations in various different software disrupted industries that just up and coming upstarts are making these big bang innovation moves and advancing really the state of an industry forward, and they're using it and they're doing it with software. And you can increasingly start to think that every company, you used to sort of think of company and their software developers would just be, that was another group within IT. Maybe they were a little bit more aligned to the business, but they did mostly sort of integration development. They would get systems talking to one another. That was software development in a lot of the mature enterprise in prior decades. Really, increasingly, every company now needs a software development capability, and every company is building a software development capability that they can start to use to apply in those defensive mechanisms. It's really where a lot of the innovation needs to start to occur in the service economy. It really starts to get down into what are the behavioral elements of leading an IT and a business strategy. So what the Phoenix Project does is it takes this company called Parts Unlimited. That's not the real logo of it, but it's one that I sort of cribbed from another company. Apologies to Parts Unlimited. That works in the auto industry. And Parts Unlimited is facing immense disruptive pressure from competitors in their industry, one in particular. And they are put on a really important transformational project called the Phoenix Project that they believe will lead their company from where it stands today with minimal growth rates and a high level of disruption and competition, and get them up to and ahead of their competition with a radical software redesign of the way their business works. The Phoenix Project is critically important. What's weighing the entire business down is just all of the legacy that's holding them back. So this first way is really all around understanding your business flows and how they fit into the 4 types of work. And understanding your business flows, from basically a base business driver forward into an actual business service that gets delivered is really all around alignment to the business. How are your IT systems and your IT procedures, how specifically do they align to the business function? And what are those inventory of business functions, and what are those inventories of systems, and how do those fit together? And then figuring out how to pipeline and create a sense of flow around your work. And so the main point here one of the other main points of this chapter of the book is really around analyzing and getting into the 4 types of work. And, business projects, internal projects, changes, and unplanned work. And I'll let you guess which one of those is the most impactful, which one of those is poison. What is the most poisonous word up on the board? The second way is really to then create feedback loops. Once you have that flow, figure out feedback loops that allow you to continually improve. And the main message there is to automate with simplicity. How can you drive, once you know your flow, what are your steps that you can then start to automate? Understanding the flow, understanding what are the repetitive tasks that you're going to end up needing to do, understanding the best practices that you can start to apply, and then creating feedback loops that then apply automated measures to make that flow go faster are really critical. The third way that then builds within that is this culture of innovation, experimenting, and learning, and how empowering the innovators within your organization and making sure that they have the freedom to and the framework in which they can start to innovate, experiment, and learn is this sort of third way of work. And it is this sort of model that a lot of startups end up parachuting into, right? This is where they start. They start off with a very simple business driver and a very simple business service and a very simple flow. They design it to be innovative right from the start, and they are in a constant sense of innovation, experimentation, and learning. And that's why, that's the startup advantage. That's the disruptor advantage, where they don't have to necessarily be encumbered by all the decisions of the past. They sort of drop right into this third way of working right from the get-go.